light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. Isn't the sun shining bright today? Wow. What a beautiful day. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts are beating as one. Light upon light upon light, shining as bright as the sun. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Well, my name is Heather O'Day. I'm the music director here of the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living in Amado, Arizona. Without further ado, let's start the announcements with Bob Schaefer today.
Yay, Bob. Oh, yay, Bob! Namaste. It's such a wonderful day. Okay. Good morning. My name is Bob, and on behalf of the Rev Donna Maurer and the Board of Trustees, I'm privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action, every day and every way. And we express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our declaration of principles on the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers today? Yeah, okay. Again, we would like to thank all of the volunteers who made our celebration service possible. And let's see, who set up? Susan and Bruce and Wanda. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. If you are watching online, the announcements are not part of the online program. And so what you need to do is to go over to the church website, cslaz.org, and you can pick up all the announcements there. Please take a moment to silent any devices you've got. And thank you.
There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one.
Good morning. Am I all here? You know, on my iPhone, there's a Google Photos. I don't know, and it pops up and it says, "Would you like to see where you were 5 years ago?" And there's Wanda and Bruce and Dawn and Susan all being munchkins. It was so cute. So everything I'm going to share today, most of it has been inspired by Ernest Holmes. The invocation. The inner self, the spiritual self, the God self exists here and now and is flowing through every organ and action and function of physical being, and we rejoice in this and permit it to be so. I know that every person who asks for direction, wise counsel, receives it. Everyone who has asked for greater success in life or love receives it. With the asker, we accept the gift of heaven from the God of love and peace and joy. We appreciate this. We appreciate this opportunity to gather together, to share the uplifting vibration of love. Thank you for being here today. And now, as we turn to the divine presence, which is both from God and man, we receive the uplift of love, of spirit, as we turn to each other. We bless each other, knowing the God of love abides within. And so it is. I want to talk a bit about love today. What the heck is love? We try so hard to make sense of it, to understand it, to grasp it between our fingertips, hold it in our palms. We want desperately to label it, to box it up, to put it on a shelf that we can easily pull down when we are ready. I'd like to share some of what Ernest Holmes writes in the book Holmes Papers. He states, "Today we're going to talk on love and friendship. The Bible says, 'Who knows not love knows not God.' For God is love. God is love. Whatever the impulsion of the universe is, it is love. Generosity, beauty, friendly towards us. Now we know psychologically that the very first need of man is to love and be loved. We know this. There's no guesswork about it." End quote. Love is actually a challenge. It's meeting someone or finding a new activity that pushes you to be greater, bigger, brighter than you were before. It's finding someone or a group you see fighting battles with or for. It's discovering that your life was incredibly full before, but falling into love has made it even more complete somehow. And love is also all the challenges that come with those things. The messiness, the confusion, the fear, the failure, the faults you will carry forward and learn to battle in relationship with one another. Love is not just a feeling. Love is a choice, a decision, an action, a movement towards another, despite what stands in your way, despite all the ways the world will tell you to give up or walk away, despite all the things that will try to break you down, break you apart, cause confusion and misperceptions. Love is a movement towards something new, despite the impermanence of this world. Love is saying that in this temporary life, you will choose to believe, choose to give it your everything, choose to be one another's against all odds. And Ernest continues, and by the way, I find this quote, how it fits in today, if you think about it. This is from Ernest, written in about early 60s. I know it is there in everyone. We have to stop being afraid of life and of people. We have to have decent respect for ourselves. There is a spiritual self. It dominates everything when we let it. There's apparently a pressure against everything to sing, to dance, to love, to appreciate, to join with people. And people are sore and hungry for love. We all are. So that I think we ought to embrace the whole world in our thought and feeling. I do it definitely and consciously every day. Try to stretch my imagination. I thought if I was too busy for everything else, still I would want to take a few minutes to do this every day before I go to bed or at night or sometimes when I wake up in the morning. It doesn't matter when. I call it stretching the mind, stretching the intellect. And I just let go. And I think of a few people I think a great deal of. And I embrace them in my own consciousness. And then I go out. And finally, in my imagination, I try to get my arms around the world and kind of squeeze it and kind of press it into me. Somebody may say, you sentimental fool. So if we're going to be fools, let's all be happy in being fools together. Love is the only final security in the universe and the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. Therefore, love is pretty important in all our lives, and one reason we are dedicated to this center. Love is the only security. It is the healing power. It is the great reality. A love so infinite, deep, and broad that men have renamed it and called it God. Namaste.
This is a song by one of my friends named Todd Glancy. I've done this one for you before, and I think we've sung it as a group before. It's called Instruments of Love. I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am an instrument of love, love, love. I am magical, I am mystical, I am an instrument of love. I am instruments of love, love, love. We are magical, we are mystical. We are all instruments of love, love. We are love, 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 love. We are love, 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 love. We are bountiful, we are beautiful, we are all instruments of love, love, love. We are magical, we are mystical, we are all instruments of love. We are love, 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 love. We are love, 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 love. We are love. Thank you, Todd, for his song.
Well, it is February, and we do have a new theme for the month, and I've chosen the heart of the matter. And since Valentine's Day is next Sunday, it seemed appropriate to be talking about the heart. You know, I read that the number of cards sent on Valentine's Day is second only to Christmas. And this year, there is an expectation from the florists of sales of over $3 billion in flowers just in the United States. So heart is appropriate. So, I said, if you read the e-news, I said on the e-news that when we wish to get at the heart of a matter, what we really want to do is to uncover the core issues that need to be resolved or tended to. And that means that we have to consciously remove those blocks in our thinking, in our belief system, in our behavior that would keep us from finding that core, that inner heart that holds the real meaning and value in any situation. So to go along with the idea of the heart of the matter, today's topic is there is only one heart. And I want to tell you a little story that involves our founder, Dr. Holmes. And it's kind of special because you're not going to hear it anywhere else. I did not know Ernest Holmes personally, but his secretary was a dear friend and co-worker of mine. Her name was Helen Brenner, and she radiated love. She really did. And she told me of a story. She said one time, Ernest came into the office. He was a bit late, and he was visibly upset. And it turns out that one of his dearest friends had experienced a massive heart attack, and it was troubling him a great deal. So he told Helen, I'm going into my office to treat. Please don't let anybody disturb me. Well, he was there for over 3 hours. And finally, he came out and he said, he smiled at Helen and he said, there is only one heart. So what happened in those 3 hours? Nobody knows. Helen didn't know. But I kind of have an idea because several weeks ago I told you about that little epiphany I had, that something that I had been saying for years, been teaching for years, something I knew for years, suddenly made that jump from the intellectual knowledge in my head into my heart. what you know I call the cosmic plop. And basically, a cosmic plop is that something that you thought you knew, you now know at a level that is so profound that nothing can shake your belief. And I rather like to think that that was probably the process that Ernest Holmes was going through in those 3 hours. He had to get to the heart of the matter to clear his mind, his thought, or belief of anything other than God is all there is. And he had to come to that place where he knew it beyond knowing, at that place where there is no doubt, it is just part of you. And I don't remember if Helen told me whether the man recovered. But when you are in the place of completely embracing that God is all there is, then life is eternal. And you know that with all your being as well. So whether the man returned to this life or moved on to his next adventure was not part of this picture. There is only one life, one God, one heart. And I truly believe that this is what Ernest found in those hours of silence. So when we think about it, at the core of every matter is the heart. Are we coming in any situation from a place of unconditional love when we seek a resolution to a condition? Or is there an element of ego? Even, I don't want my friend to die, is coming from a place of what we want and may not be what is best for our friend. And that's a hard one to swallow, because what we tend to think of as a resolution to a treatment is that there is total wellness and everything's back to normal. But if we truly believe at the core of our being that life is eternal, then perhaps the highest and best good of our friend is to move in to that next expression. So to get to the heart of the matter, we have to lead with the heart. And that's true for every area of our life. If we are to live a spiritually fulfilled life, then love must be our answer to every problem, challenge, situation, and even blessing that's part of our lived experience. I was watching a YouTube talk by Simon Sinek. He's a leadership motivational speaker, and it was on leadership versus management. And he began by saying that empathy and perspective were two qualities that were always found in great leaders. So even in leadership, we need to look for that core value and bring that forward with love, even in a business setting. And he explained that when workers who do well are promoted to management, they are often ineffective as leaders. And that's because they bring to their new roles those things which were important to the old one. So they're working with a core belief that's no longer valid. And he said, the real job of a leader is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in our charge. So if the manager does not make that shift, does not change that core belief as a worker to a leader, then he's not going to be an effective leader. And so Simon told the story of a young man named Noah he met, who was working as a barista at the Four Seasons Hotel in Las Vegas. And he said, and these are his words, he said, Noah was fantastic. He was friendly and fun, and he was engaging with me, and I had so much fun buying a cup of coffee from him that I actually gave him a 100% tip. And he said, and then he says, as is my nature, I asked Noah, do you like your job? And without skipping a beat, Noah said, I love my job. And so I followed up and asked, what is it that the Four Seasons is doing that would make you say to me, I love my job? And without skipping a beat, Noah said, throughout the day, managers will walk past me and ask me how I'm doing, if there's anything that I need to do my job better. And he said, not just my manager, but any manager. And then he said something magical. These are Simon's words. He says, I also work at Caesar's Palace. And at Caesar's Palace, the managers are trying to make sure that we're doing everything right. They catch us when we do things wrong. When I go to work there, I like to keep my head under the radar and just get through the day so I can get my paycheck. But here at the Four Seasons, I can be myself. And Mr. Sinek went on to say that managers often try to get the right people on their team, but their real job is to create a supportive environment. And he said, if we create the right environment, we will get people like Noah at the Four Seasons. If we create the wrong environment, we will get people like Noah at Caesar's Palace. The real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. And I was so intrigued by this video. I mean, this is not the kind of video I run around and watch all the time, but I was really intrigued. I happen to like this guy, and I was really intrigued by it. And I recognized that the wisdom that Mr. Sinek was giving to this leadership group is the wisdom of metaphysics as well. Because when you and I treat any venture by leading with love, with empathy, then our perspective, the way we see to the heart of the matter, will reflect that love. And that love will in turn manifest as loving experiences. Shinichi Suzuki, who was the inventor of the International Suzuki Method of Music Education, said, where love is deep, much is accomplished. And rather than just a method to teach music, Dr. Suzuki developed a philosophy which, when understood to the fullest, is a philosophy for living that puts love as its highest priority. And Dr. Suzuki himself said, teaching music is not my main purpose. I want to make good citizens, noble human beings. If a child hears fine music from the day of his birth and learns to play it himself, he develops sensitivity, discipline, and endurance. He gets beautiful heart. And here's how he helped his children. He said for many years, the Japanese children would send graduation tapes to Dr. Suzuki so he could hear their playing. And he would listen and make comments and then return the tapes to the children. But not all of his comments were suggestions for them to improve their playing. He asked them not to hurt other people's feelings, to be kind to everyone, their friends, families, and teachers. On one child's tape, he said, you are going to play the music of great composers, and you must try to catch their hearts in the music. You must practice every day to catch the feelings of others without words. Look at your mother and father. Can you see how they feel? Try to see when your mother needs your help before she asks, because then it's too late. If you practice every day watching not to harm anyone by what you say, and also by trying to catch how they feel, then you will develop sensitivity towards the feelings of others. Perhaps later, you will also catch the hearts of Bach and Mozart in their music. Dr. Suzuki also made suggestions to those children that he taught in person. He would ask them to do something special for a family member or a friend, and then to tell them about it at the next lesson. And sometimes the children would be excited to report their good deeds, that they could hardly wait. In a concert performance, after his ending bow, one little boy hurried over to Dr. Suzuki and whispered, I polished my father's shoes without him knowing it. So, where there is love that is shared, there is a natural sense of belonging, of respect and dignity. Where there is sensitivity to what is around us, an environment is created where much can be achieved. So Dr. Suzuki's statement, where love is deep, much is accomplished, makes perfect sense from a metaphysical standpoint as well. When we are in harmony with nature, when we are expressing our natural and inborn ability to love, then we've taken down those dams of negative thinking and opened up channels of universal creativity, which can flow easily through us and into our world of affairs. And when our actions are motivated by love, there is no waste of energy, but a flow of what Deepak Chopra called effortless ease that comes as a result of simply living within a loving consciousness. And that's why much can be accomplished. Look at what we have done. You know, when you look back at those times when we were not sure, really, Loma remembers when we would figure out the finances to see who was Peter and who was Paul as far as what bills got paid. And now we're abundant. You know, now we're abundant. We own our own property, and that was a miracle. So many things have happened, but I believe it's happened because we have a shared heart. We know the value of being only one heart, only one love, only one God, expressing individually as you and as me. So I think that a beautiful heart, whether it's in children who play music or in you and me, has to be nurtured both from the inside and the outside. Author and educator Parker J. Palmer says, "The inner life of any great thing will be incomprehensible to me until I develop and deepen an inner life of my own." And I think Dr. Suzuki seemed to know that. And that's why it was important for his students to develop empathy and sensitivity toward people. And he knew that the only way his students would feel the greatness of the music that they were learning was by developing a beautiful heart. And that was true for the students of Dr. Suzuki. That's true for Noah, the barista, and the leaders who gave him courage and encouraged him to be the best he could be. And it's true for you, and it's true for me. There is only one heart, and its song is love, and that's a song that you and I are singing. And we're singing it out into the world. You know, Dr. Ernest Holmes has called love the greatest healing, motivating power in the universe. And I believe that it is. In his book, Quantum Healing, Dr. Deepak Chopra tells a story of the power of love. An Ohio University study of heart disease in the 1970s was conducted by feeding a quite toxic, high cholesterol diet to rabbits in order to block their arteries, duplicating the effect. They were trying to figure out the effects that such a diet has on human arteries. Consistent results began to appear in all the rabbit groups except one. And that one strangely had 60% fewer symptoms. Nothing in the rabbit's physiology could account for their high tolerance to the diet until it was discovered by accident that the student who was in charge of feeding these particular rabbits treated them with love. He would hold each rabbit and pet it before he fed them. And astonishingly, this alone seemed to enable the animals to overcome the toxic diet. Repeat experiments in which one group of rabbits was treated neutrally while the others were loved came up with similar results. So if rabbits can respond this powerfully to love, doesn't it make sense that everything and everyone else does too? Dr. Ernest Holmes says, every heart responds to the warmth of love. Every mind yearns for its embrace, and no life is complete without it. Love really is the fulfillment of the law of good. So you and I are fulfilling this law every time we lead with our heart. And in the coming weeks, as we delve deeper into this topic, the matters of the heart, I would like for us, as did Ernest Holmes, proclaim with faith and declare with certainty, there is only one heart. Thank you. Namaste.
Can I pray for you? What can I do to make it all go away? Should I talk to you? What can I say to make it all okay? It's not a feeling of guilt or obligation, or a matter of doing my part. There is no pity in this soul of mine. It's a matter of the heart. I'm making way for you, but I know you can't meet me there. What you've been going through, you can't imagine the immense pain. It's not a matter of my own opinion, of the who's and the how's and the what's. You're my best friend through thick and thin. It's a matter of the heart. The day will come soon, I know, when you open up again. The dawn will break across your face, through the tears and the fears and the could have beens. Can I sing for you? What melody will ease your mind? I wanna scream and cry with you, but you're not picking up the phone this time. It's not a matter of acceptance, at least right now the hurt's too strong. What you're breathing through, I breathe with you. It's a matter of the heart. It's a matter of the heart.
So, with that, it's time for our offering affirmation. And as we say our offering affirmation together, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, at the bottom of the video there is a line that says donate here. So we would very much appreciate your financial support, and we would thank you very much for your consideration. So now together, our offering affirmation: my gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And there is a container over at the table for your offerings today, and I thank you too. So let's just take this time to close our celebration out in prayer. First, in absolute gratitude for this space that we have to meet in, for the beauty of nature that surrounds us. I don't think that we can look around here and say that there's anything other than one heart. So I know right now that God is all there is. And this one heart of God beats within each and every one of us as we uniquely express that love through us and as us, knowing that it goes out to others like ripples on a pond. I give thanks for the opportunity that we are here today together. And I simply know that life is good and very good, even in the midst of the many challenges that we are facing. I speak my word for anyone who's experiencing any kind of a challenge. And I just simply know that God is all there is. And those words alone have a healing power. So I simply let all of this go into that divine mind that knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and is working on our behalf right now. And we affirm this by saying together, and so it is. Thank you.